What's cracking, dudes, dudettes? Today we're gonna be talking about how I'm gonna make it to $1 million. And here's my game plan. So maybe you can copy me, or maybe not, I don't know. Or you can just laugh at me and watch me crash and burn. Who knows? Let's find out what I'm going to do. Okay, so the first thing that you need to do to get to $1 million is to start making money and start with a starting point. So my net worth at the current moment is somewhere around $350,000, $400,000. I probably would have to go tally it all up exactly, but it's somewhere around that level. Now, my main plan with getting to $1 million is to invest my way there. Now, if all of my investments burned and died and I just had to make it to $1 million from just earning it, making money each year and saving it, that will also happen. So there's like a contingency plan. There's a short-term plan where this can happen in the next year to maybe 2, 3, 4 years. And then there's a long-term plan where somehow all my investments go to zero. Someone hacks me or something like that. And then I have to maybe spend the next 10 or 20 years to get to $1 million, which I think is less likely. Now, I am 28 years old. I'm about to turn 29 years old. I would like to beat myself to 30. Like I'd like to get to $1 million before 30, but that's not really, it's kind of arbitrary. It doesn't really matter. Because of my age though, I can be very risky with my investments. Like I said, if I lose all my money, I have plenty of time to earn it back. Plus I do have, steady income. So I have that to depend on. I'm not like gambling away, an inheritance or something that I could never actually make back on my own. I have a stock to flow of income to what I have. Now, because of this position I'm in, I can be in riskier stuff. I don't have to sit there in bonds or like the S&P 500 or whatever. I don't have to be in index funds. I can be a little riskier. So I have a good majority of my money in cryptocurrencies. I have roughly, I would say, around $300,000 in cryptocurrencies at the moment. If you haven't seen my other video where I break down my exact cryptocurrency profile, you can definitely go check out that portfolio video on my channel if you want to. But basically with the fluctuations of the market right now, with Bitcoin being somewhere around $47,000, $48,000, that's where I am. Good bit of it is in Bitcoin, and then the rest of it is spread between altcoins that I think are quality projects, not just like random moonshots like Dogecoin or Hogecoin or Luna Doge or Gumrocket or any of the other ones, right? These are projects that I actually believe in. Now, I also have investments in the stock market, somewhere around $40,000 to $50,000, but I am tapering back and moving that into cash because I am kind of weary of a stock market implosion coming soon, and I would like to be able to buy the dip by having some dry powder cash on the side. I do have a decent amount of cash just sitting there on the side, just in cash, and then I have my retirement account, which can't touch till I'm 59, which is basically infinity away, so I'm not even counting that into the $1 million mark. So what's my plan? How am I getting to $1 million? Well, it's pretty simple, at least the primary plan. Primary plan is to not care at all about everybody's emotional scariness and telling me that I'm an idiot and having money in the cryptocurrency market. I truly believe that Bitcoin will be past 6 figures relatively soon, and I think that Bitcoin will make it to $1 million within the next 10 years. Now, where we are right now, I think that Bitcoin will be able to get to $100,000 within the next 6 months. Basically, my plan is that I'm going to sell about 40 to 60% of my Bitcoin as we hit certain price targets with Bitcoin. So somewhere around $100,000 in Bitcoin, $100,000 like Bitcoin price target, I'll have sold maybe about half a Bitcoin or a little bit more. And then each time we hit another $15,000 or $20,000, I'll sell another portion until I have reached about selling about 40, 50 or 60% of my total Bitcoin. The other 40% I will just hold forever because there is always a chance that we have a crazy blow off top, that goes to $250,000, $300,000. And I'm totally willing to hold that last 40% of Bitcoin forever, even through the next bear market, because like I said, I do think that Bitcoin will eventually hit $1 million. Now, if Bitcoin gets to $250,000 or higher, that will be the point where right there, even through selling on the way up, I will have hit $1 million net worth. That's really interesting. In my opinion, probably won't happen this cycle. What'll probably happen is we'll go up into the 100,000, maybe mid 100,000 level, and then we'll have a multi-year bear market. So what I will be doing during that period is with the cash that I have acquired from selling that 40 to 60% Bitcoin position, I will be waiting to put that money into the Bitcoin market after we've gone through our 2-3 year bear market. And I won't be buying the first year. I'll be watching that Bitcoin the price just keep going down and down. And I'll try to start buying somewhere around the second and third year to reaccumulate my position with more Bitcoin. But during that first and second year where I'm just sitting on cash, what I'll be doing is playing options or selling contracts to people in the stock market. So I'm not going to go into contracts and how it all works because I've done it in 2 different videos. You can go watch that on my channel recently. I did it. But basically I'll be selling calls and selling puts on stocks, which basically can make you yield a 1 to 2% every single month. If you're playing riskier options, you can make 3 to 10% every single month. And so I will have a certain ratio of that cash that I put into very safe options that I'm selling that really are not going to screw me over, even if it goes the other way and doesn't go my way. And then I'll have a smaller, ratio, but a ratio still, that I'll be playing very risky stock options. Things like AMC and GME stock and BlackBerry stock. Those have high amounts of premium that you can make on selling options, but you also can get screwed. So I will have my ratios, but basically I'll be aiming to beat at least a 10% return on my money every single year. I think I could probably make it to around 15%, maybe higher if being risky, but yeah, probably 10 to 15%. And to me, that would be great for that year or 2 years that I'm waiting until I get back into the cryptocurrency markets during that bear market. So there's the primary goal when it comes to just investing my way to $1 million. I think it's pretty straightforward. I also have a high conviction level of this. I do really believe that really will happen. Not just hope, but I firmly am following the markets, and I really do believe that is in the cards based on what I'm seeing with adoption across just all markets, but also institutional adoption and also country adoption. I think it's coming soon, and I think cryptocurrencies are not at their top yet. My secondary plan is that I have a couple different businesses, and I have one particular business that I am pretty well positioned to make a good amount of money from, as long as I can make content that goes at least semi-viral or viral on my other channel, which is my acne channel. I have a whole program that has basically I spent like a year and a half on, and if I can have any single video go off, past 100,000 views, and it's talking about that program, it will net a good amount of income that I can then use for more investments. So that is one of the main ways. I have a couple other business plans that are coming up pretty soon here that will be able to basically pad my income even more. And all of that basically is just going to go into investments as well. Basically, my plan is to just invest the crap out of all my money, right? I will buy a house at some point, but it's really hard for me to commit to buying a house right now while these house prices are really high. And also when I know I can invest the money and I don't really need a house quite yet. Like, I'm not dying to be in a house. So we'll see what happens with that. But eventually I will use that money to buy a house, which I'm hoping I can time after this house market has either dipped, corrected, or maybe popped if we're in a huge bubble. And that'd be a great time to buy real estate, which would then appreciate over the next couple years anyway. So that would be a good investment. So there we go. A couple different ways. I think if you are planning on hitting any sort of net worth goal, you need to have at least a few different plans. You need to have your primary plan that you really believe in and have a high conviction in, but you need to also have some redundancy plans in case that primary plan either takes longer than expected or completely crashes and burns and doesn't work out at all, or you lose all that money that you're originally using in your primary plan. So I have a couple different plans there. Kind of just wanted to come on here and explain it to you so I could give you guys some other ideas, but also just put this out into the universe. I know for sure $1 million net worth is coming. I'm making it happen as soon as possible, but there's no doubt in my mind that it's coming. And that I think is really powerful for manifestation and also telling your subconscious what's going to happen so that your subconscious actually does make it happen. So there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's always fun to open up to you guys about what's going on in my life. It's also really funny because I live like I'm poor because like I really don't have that much cash just like available to do random stuff with, party and vacation and buy a bunch of random stuff with. It's all locked up, which I think is a great way to go about it. Kind of comes from the idea of The Richest Man in Babylon, which is a book. You should definitely check that out if you're looking for something that's good to read. Give the video a thumbs up. Let me know what your net worth goal is. And it doesn't have to be $1 million. It could be $1,000 or $10,000. I want to know what your goal is and what your plan is to get there. Let me know in the comments below. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already. I'll see you beautiful people in the very next video.